Sometimes life comes down to just one moment. One moment. That is all it takes. To lose something that could have been your entire life. And the worst part, you do not even realize it until it is already too late.
I'm 46 years old now, sitting alone on the same wooden rocking chair my father used to claim every single evening after the orchards were watered. The sun is dipping low over the hills, painting the fruit crates in the yard that same warm golden hue it did 21 years ago. Inside the house, I can hear my wife laughing with the kids about something on the television. I should be in there with them, wrapping my arms around her waist, joining in the laughter like a normal husband and father. I have built a life most men would envy. A thriving export business shipping mangoes and pineapples across half of Europe. A beautiful home. A wife who still looks at me with genuine love in her eyes. 2 healthy children who call me Papa with such pride. On paper, I have everything. Yet tonight the house feels completely hollow, like I'm the only one living inside an empty shell. I was clearing out the old storeroom this afternoon. The one I keep locked because it still carries the faint scent of my father's aftershave mixed with the sweet, heavy smell of overripe fruit. My hands were moving on autopilot, sorting through dusty ledgers and faded invoices, when my fingers brushed against something hard wrapped in an old cloth. My heart skipped before my mind even caught up. I knew exactly what it was. The stethoscope box. The same black leather case I bought brand new in the summer of 2004, back when I still believed with every fiber of my being that I was going to become a doctor. I sat down right there on the cold concrete floor, dust swirling around me like forgotten memories, and opened it with trembling hands. The stethoscope inside was still shining, completely untouched, almost mocking me after all these years. And there, tucked gently against the velvet lining, like it had been patiently waiting for 2 decades, was a small, crumpled piece of paper. The handwriting on it was unmistakable, childlike, uneven. Letters leaning wildly in that special way only she could write. Maria's handwriting. The one I swore I could recognize anywhere in the world. My chest tightened so hard I could barely breathe. I unfolded the note slowly, as if the paper itself might disappear if I moved too fast. Her name was Maria Elena Vargas. She was the kind of beautiful that made the entire lecture hall fall silent the moment she walked in. Long dark hair that caught every stray ray of sunlight, like it held its own secrets. Eyes so deep and expressive you could fall into them and never want to climb out. Bold, blunt, fearless. The kind of girl who would correct a professor mid-sentence without hesitation. Voice steady, chin high. Everyone whispered about her. Everyone longed to talk to her. No one ever dared. I saw her everywhere. In the crowded corridors between anatomy and physiology classes. Under the old banyan tree where students stole quiet moments. On the narrow shaded path that led from the hostel to the hospital wing. I would catch her looking sometimes. Quick, sideways glances that made my stomach flip like I was free-falling. I made sure to sit 3 rows behind her in every class I could manage. I memorized the way her pen moved across the page, the little frustrated huff she made when her handwriting betrayed her again. We never spoke a single word to each other, but something in those silent eye meetings, those soft smiles, told me she felt it too. Something inside me knew, deep in my bones, that she was the one I was meant to spend my life with. Then, one ordinary afternoon in the practical lab, she turned around and asked me, voice soft but direct, if she could borrow my stethoscope. Hers was at home, and the senior doctor had given them an urgent assignment on cardiac auscultation. My voice cracked when I answered. I told her I had just bought a brand new one, still sitting in the box in my car. With my heart hammering in my throat, I ran to the parking lot, pulled out a torn prescription pad, and wrote the words I had carried inside my chest for months with shaking hands. Maria, I love you, truly. From the first day I saw you, something inside me knew you were my soulmate. I'm too afraid to say it to your face, but I feel it in my bones. With all my heart, Alex. I slipped the note inside the box next to the gleaming stethoscope, walked back like a man heading to his own execution, and handed it to her without daring to look into her eyes. I just mumbled, "It's brand new. Please, return it when you're done." The next afternoon, she came back with the box. I was already running, literally sprinting, because the hostel warden had just called on the landline. My father had collapsed at the warehouse. She tried to say something, her cheeks flushed, but I grabbed the box without even glancing inside, thanked her quickly, and sprinted toward the bus stand. That was the last time I ever saw her. That same night, my father died of a sudden massive heart attack. No warning. One minute he was shouting orders at the workers. The next, he was gone forever. I was the eldest son. The family business that fed my mother and my two younger siblings still in school became my responsibility overnight. Within 2 weeks, I had withdrawn from medical college. I packed away my white coat, my textbooks, and every dream I ever had, and buried them in that same storeroom. I told myself it was only temporary. I told myself I would go back one day. I never did. I never opened the stethoscope box again. I convinced myself it was better this way. No mobiles back then. No social media. No way to find her even if I wanted to. The world was different in 2004. So I moved on. The business grew. I became good at it. I met my wife 3 years later. We built a life together. But every now and then, late at night, I would wonder about the girl with the terrible handwriting and the eyes that once looked at me like maybe she felt it too. Until tonight, I read her words on that crumpled paper and the floor disappeared beneath me. I love you too, Alex. I feel the same way. From the very first day I noticed you sitting behind me in class, I kept hoping you would speak to me. My heart feels you are my soulmate too. Love, Maria. The note slipped from my fingers and fluttered to the dusty floor. A sound came out of me, raw, broken. Something I didn't know my body could make. 21 years. She had loved me back. The answer I had dreamed of every single night had been lying right here in my storeroom, collecting dust the entire time while I built an entirely different life on top of it. I could have opened the box that same evening. I could have asked around the college for Maria Elena Vargas. I could have driven to her hostel on my old scooter and told her everything before my world collapsed. But I didn't. I ran. And now the hole in my chest is so wide and so deep, I don't know how I've been walking around with it for 2 decades without falling apart. If you're watching this and you have that one person, that one moment, that one heartbreaking what if still keeping you awake at night, I see you. I feel you. That hole never really closes. It just learns to breathe around the ache. And some nights, like tonight, the ache still wins. Some mistakes do not feel like mistakes until it is too late to fix them. And then you carry them with you for the rest of your life. Tell me honestly, is there someone or something you still think about at night? If there is, share your story in the comments. Maybe hearing yours will help ease this hollow in my chest.